The Seattle Vigil.
Hey, Jack. All right. You got this stuff?
Yeah. All cleaned and oiled.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's get it on.
Who are these guys?
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Live from Springfield, Missouri, the one, the only, P1 Creek. Thank you very much, Scott. Music, man. Yeah. Martin, everybody. Yeah.
Excuse me, can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Martin.
Good morning, Keith. Good morning out to our lovely audience.
Oh, wow. Yeah, again, another amazing morning there. And all these good people that just show up and just to say hi. And as always, with a lot of the shows that I do, first up, Penny, the lovely Penny. Hello. Admiral Teague, because Teague's that cool. D-Bud Martin, hello, my friend. Wow. And, John Cipiola, hello. Mrs. A, just dropping in to say hi. Okay. Hi back to you.
And thank you very much.
Dragon Ruse. And
Look what we have here.
I know the lady of the show, our lovely Anima Confusa, because she's that cool.
That she is.
Okay, well, hope everybody's had a nice couple of days. I have had up and down a couple of days since the last show I did, but got a lot of interesting news. Possibly some things that might go right. Cross our fingers. But given everything that's happened over the last few years, I know I'm trying not to be negative. I am trying so hard not to be negative about this. But some of it's really easy because I think those of us that are fans of a lot of this stuff, we've been burned so many times. I mean, wow. I'll tell you.
We're more burned than Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, good one. Good one. Martin coming out of the gate with a burn. I remember when it was announced that Disney was buying Marvel. And I remember a lot of my Marvel friends were celebrating. It was just amazing. I knew one or two that were kind of cautious. And I knew one person that was kind of against it, because it really was the end of an era. Marvel was one of the last publishers of comics that was pretty much just doing it itself, in there, just doing the comic book thing, making their fans happy. Although leading up to the sale, things had not gone smooth for them. They had already, I think, were on the edge of bankruptcy or had gone bankrupt, which really is a major part of Marvel's story. More so than any other comic book company, they've gone out of business because loss of money. I know a lot of you Marvel fans out there want to make it seem like Marvel's always been like that. Well, that's how a lot of us can tell that you were born after the 1960s. Definitely after the 1970s. Marvel was good, but it was never like it is right now. Okay. Not to say that DC was any better, although DC, in my opinion, was slightly better because of its Hollywood connections that they had put together in the previous 2 to 3 decades. You know, DC worked on getting a lot of connections into Hollywood in the 1940s, leading up to having a hit television show called The Adventures of Superman, of which the Filmation animated show, The New Adventures of Superman, was really an update of. Bet you didn't know that.
Nope.
Yeah. So getting Bud Collyer to be the announcer for the Filmation version of Superman allowed them to have a connection that went all the way back to the original Superman radio show, because Bud Collyer was the voice of Superman for that. So the announcer for the 1960s cartoon was they actually went out and hired basically the previous actor that had been Superman, or at least the first actor to have ever played Superman, ever, was the announcer for the old Filmation cartoon. So you're probably wondering, well, what does this have to do with what we're discussing today? Good point. Good point. What this has to do is there is a rumor for right now of something new happening with DC Comics. And if it's successful, it could change a few things for them. I know it would. I know it would. They would hope that would be as big of a success for them as Marvel's Ultimate Universe was for them, even though it only lasted a few years, Ultimate, and then they stopped doing it. But the rumor is that this is actually going to happen, and they already have someone to lead all of this, and that's Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder, to me, is one of the... He automatically earned his way onto the Mount Rushmore of some of the best writers to have ever written Batman. And the Court of Owls was his. He created that. That's his contribution to the Batman mythos. And what he did with Batman, the New 52, some amazing work. Not too many people left DC to equal what he had been able to do. And up to this announcement, I don't even think he had actually was full-time with DC anymore. But it looks like he will be back. Now, I don't know what they're going to call this new universe, but it's being rumored to be a new Ultimate Universe, with Scott Snyder being the lead architect for what this new universe will be. Okay.
Question is, does he have full control?
They're basically using the same plan that Marvel used with their Ultimate, and but there's a slight difference, I think, up to this. With what I've read, there is a slight difference. when Marvel created the Ultimate Universe, it was meant to be an alternative to what they were doing in the main Marvel continuity, meaning that they continued to actually produce all of the comics with all the characters that they had been making for years, for decades, right? So they decided to try something different in order to make it easier for brand new readers to come into Marvel by basically finding a way, making it so that they're coming in at the ground floor at the beginning with all these characters.
Hey, morning, boss.
Oh shit! Did I click something?
Apparently.
Everybody, scared shell.
I'm just grateful that you're clothed.
I didn't mean to be here. I'm not stressed.
How are you, buddy?
Doing pretty good, my friend. Thought I'd drop in and say hi and see how things are going, and also announce that the official website is launched for Dale Dye's Warriors Global.
Wow!
Oh,
Congratulations!
So you can find it at warriors-global.mn.co.
Pop it in the private chat, and I'll bring it up.
All right, I'm trying to get it right now. Oh my lord!
Oh my god!
There you go. Brand, try before you share it. Try it. Make sure you can get to it.
Yep.
All right, here you go. It's a rebranding of one company instead of having two different companies, because they had Warriors Inc. and then they had Warriors Publishing Group. And what they're doing is they're melding them into one multimedia company.
Wow. Good idea.
So I'm already on there. I'm about the, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 11th one down on the page. It's my Pop Culture Minefield. My helmet. By the way, I ordered one of those helmets so I can actually like wear it when I'm gaming. Oh, excuse me. I'm still fighting this cold. In fact, you guys can watch as I take some more of my Theraflu. This shit's probably going to last a couple weeks.
Wow.
And the cold that's going around right now, it's pretty tenacious. It's like you're sick for like one day, but then you linger with the cough for like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I had that.
Yeah, but if you ask Scott, it's just allergies. It drives me up a wall. It's like, no, that's not a rattle you get from a fucking allergy.
No. You're allergic to the virus. There you have it.
There you go. I'll accept that as an answer. Did the link work for you?
Yes, I'm working.
Keith and Martin, you should both join.
Okay.
Join what?
It's there. It's not Pornhub. Don't worry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Dale's company website. You can join it. Become a member.
Oh, nice.
For free. Slow, seductive striptease. There's nothing seductive about me.
Well, I'm sure Anima would differ.
Well, I know that like girlfriends of mine, when I'm alone with them, go, "My God, you are an intense person." But it's not seductive. It's just an intense person. I don't know how to say it any other way. Eastland Burkholder's here. Hello. For all my friends over in the UK, hello. Or as if you're from London, East End, hello. Hello is actually the way you say it in Scotland. It's hello. It was one of those things because my buddy Mac and I, we used to study we're studying Gaelic, and we wanted to learn Scottish Gaelic, Welsh Gaelic, and Irish Gaelic, and because they're slightly different. And by the way, I watched a video last night that was really cool that showed Taron Egerton saying the name of the village he's from in Welsh, and it was really cool because a lot of people don't know he speaks Welsh.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what is this from? There's a new movie with Stephen Amell and Emily Brett Richards. Huh.
Who's that?
Let me here. Calamity Jane.
Wow. Wolverine 626 dropping more. Just coming in and just like boom. Okay. Look.
Oh, about Calamity Jane. Okay, cool.
I will say this. Those two did have very good chemistry. I just didn't like the way their characters were written on the TV show that they had, which was
what show?
Arrow.
Arrow.
Oh, I just didn't like that show at all. It was Batman, and it pissed me off.
Yeah. Again, Green Arrow's a much different character. And speaking of which, you're here just in time. You know, a lot of you out there might not know this, but Gary's actually done some work in the comic book industry. Personally, I think Gerry would also be very good.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, I know.
If I just applied myself.
I think you'd be very good working in this new situation that I was talking about when you came in. The rumor of a brand new DC universe coming from Scott Snyder. Basically, it's DC's version of the Ultimate Universe. And Scott Snyder will be leading the group of creatives that will be helping to put this together. As of right now, I think Scott Snyder is the only name connected. I think. And the announcement that I found out that they had made an allusion. They had alluded to it last year, but nothing since. So, but the reason why this is important is that it could also be a way of helping the films out by having characters that match what the film versions are going to be. It's a nice way of covering their bases when it comes to making the live action DC films that will be produced under for Warner Brothers, and to have the comics match, which is one of the few things that I can definitely say that they did wrong with the MCU, which is not having comics, not selling comics, and not having a storyline or special comics that match the plot lines and versions of the characters they had in their movies, because it made it a little different for fans to walk into comic book shops and to try to find comics based on a lot of these characters they just see in movies, only to find out that Tony Stark is no longer Iron Man. He's been replaced. That Captain America, I think Captain America was either a Hydra agent or he was walking the world trying to find a brand new Captain America. And, you know, all that weird stuff that Marvel was doing while they were having all that success with movies, which to this day, I still don't get that. I really
all
don't
the things they were doing when they were murdering Marvel Comics.
I mean, you're making money hand over fist. It would not have taken any real time to just go ahead and do comic book versions of some of the animated stuff that they had done. That would have even been better than what they were doing during that time. But, you know. Anyway, what do you think about Scott Snyder leading a new group to create basically an ultimate DC universe?
I don't know, man. I don't get. It's hard for me to even get excited about anything dealing with comics because I'm just assuming it's going to be more of the same crap.
Yeah.
I'll show a pulse jump when we see a change, because I've just become overly cynical about the whole thing. And it's like, you know, 2015, 2016, all the way up to 2019, I was willing to still work for major comic companies, and it came close with Marvel until they found out that I was friends with Chuck Dixon, and it just died. And because the guy that got fired not long afterward just didn't want to work with anybody that was friends with Chuck Dixon because he hated him.
Mhm.
What was that dude's name? I forget his name. The former head of Marvel Comics that got fired, got shit canned. The other guy jumped ship before he got fired.
Oh, geez.
I think that was 2019, wasn't it? Or was it 2020?
I think that was 2019. I think there are a lot of things. He definitely had to get fired because those comics just sucked. I mean, they just sucked. That entire, oh God. Yeah. Sorry. That just brought back even more bad memories. But
Don't go there, kid. Don't go there.
no, well, the thing is,
Stop thinking about it, Keith. I'm sorry.
the positive thing about the Ultimate comics from Marvel is that those mainly were the ones that helped to inform and were the basis for the MCU movies. It was a combination of the characters in comics, the original characters in comics as launched by Marvel in the 1960s. But they were mainly using the Ultimate line or version of the characters to be the version that you had in the movie theater, meaning Thor. Because if Thor had been like he was in the comics, there's two things that Thor is missing: his helmet and his secret identity of Dr. Donald Blake.
Yeah, that was something they left completely out. And I don't know how I feel about it because I don't think it's necessary. Did you? I mean, did you like that in the comics? What did you?
I understood what they were doing. I understood that the whole reason behind what they were doing with the movies. So I never had a problem with it because it's, they eventually stopped doing the Donald Blake thing even in the comics. It's just those of us that happen to remember that he had a secret identity initially. But having, the biggest change for me was having Tony just be Iron Man and not doing the whole thing where Iron Man is his bodyguard. Again, I didn't hate it. It was just really, really different from what the comics had been.
Right.
But I didn't mind it. Yes, Socks, you're right. Yeah, they did relaunch the Ultimate Universe.
By the way, hi, Socks.
The thing about the Ultimate Universe that I liked personally is I liked the fact that they took advantage of the fact that you had all these characters and that they were all connected somehow. I like that in the Ultimate Universe because it's a comic book. It makes more sense to say that Tony Stark, Reed Richards, Bruce Banner, and others knew each other and that they were all connected since, I think, college together. It makes a whole lot of sense. It's actually a fun thought there. But overall, I mean, outside of Nick Fury and having Nick Fury look like Sam Jackson in the Ultimate Comics, which led them to actually hiring Sam Jackson for the movies. I mean, for the most part, the Ultimate stuff kind of fizzled after that. Their X-Men that they did was nothing more than a retro active reaction to the X-Men films that Fox was making. It was a way of covering their butts on that end because you're trying to, if you go back to when they had all of that, for many people, they only knew the X-Men either from comics or they knew them from the Fox movies. And in the Fox movies, they didn't have their costumes. What they had was everybody wore black leather. And so with the Ultimate Universe version of the X-Men, they tried to basically make that quote unquote canon by having them wear black leather. which, good for the time. But as we can now see with Deadpool 3, everybody really digs Wolverine's costume. I'm sorry. There's just something timeless about it. Personally, I'm more of a fan of the beige version of the costume rather than the yellow. But, that's just me.
Are you excited about seeing the new Deadpool movie with Wolverine in classic yellow?
I am, to a point. I'm just worried about the writing. That's all I'm really worried about. I have full faith in Ryan Reynolds and his team, but that's Ryan Reynolds and his team were able to earn my trust under a different company, under a different group of people. This will be their first time working under Kevin Feige. And I'm not sure if I trust. Look, I trust them. I don't trust Feige.
Feige's lost our faith.
Yes, he has lost
since
my
2019. Hey, Penny's going to sleep, and she's going to let you lull her to sleep. I say we give her the best of our voice when we start talking like this.
Hello,
Get
Penny.
into the microphone.
Hello, Penny.
It's time for sleep.
It's like our
rest
best,
those eyes.
our best NPR voices. And now it is nighttime with Penny.
We need to try now some of Keith's salty chocolate balls.
Oh,
I love the way they melt in my mouth.
that's a suggestion, Keith.
What?
Exactly. How do you get them so salty? I'm just curious.
I can't this morning. I'm sorry. Look, for one thing,
I don't remember the lyrics from Chef's song about singing and trying my chocolate salty balls.
Oh man,
it's so long ago. What was that? I think it was still the 90s when he did that.
Yeah, back when you could get away with doing stuff like that on that show.
Yeah,
not that anybody can stop them from doing anything now. Okay.
You butter those balls up, Gerry.
I'm sorry, Penny. We're supposed to be trying to put you to sleep.
No, she's putting the Z's. That is, I'm telling you, when you talk like this, it's very relaxing.
And now
it is.
And now it is time to go to sleep. Sleep.
Now, if I was a total jerk, I'd just suddenly get loud.
No, Ariel.
I'm what you would call balls deep.
Dude,
wow.
It's hard to monetize these streams as it is. Please.
No, it's look, man. I've been called Captain Inappropriate since high school. It's like I'm serious. Friends of mine from even high school are like, oh, here comes Gerry. I wonder what fucked up thing he's gonna say today.
Well, but that's the great thing about having achieved what we've achieved on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. What day is it, by the way? We're 2 days away from our anniversary.
Yeah, 2 days away. And we'll be having our big celebration, I think, tomorrow for TGIF.
Yeah, it's actually Saturday, but we'll celebrate tomorrow.
Just amazing. And again, let me just say I want to thank Gerry for giving me the opportunity to do this with him and thereby introducing me to Martin and giving me more opportunities to work with John and introducing me to the lovely Anima and all of you.
And John's come out of his shell too. I
John.
like that.
He's a big player now. He he comes to work with us, and suddenly he starts changing everything, and he's getting all smart and stuff, earning degrees, getting girlfriends. I mean, geez. He keeps going like this, he might wind up getting his own, I don't know, talk show on some service or something, or even his own TV show or something. Hopefully he
just
remembers.
has to work. He has to work on the voice. Get that voice like what we do here. When we're talking like this. If he gets a voice like this, I'm telling you, man, there's no stopping him. He will take over the world.
Hopefully
He'll remember that all I require is Australia. That's all I really want.
I thought I'd show this. This is the new 1/6 scale Deckard figure. And as much as I like it, Koichi Tanaba is a friend of mine, and he and I agree that as good as this is, that doesn't look like Harrison Ford.
The nose. Oh no,
it's not just that,
anything.
it's the eyes, it's everything is off on this. But I look at the costume and everything on this. Just beautiful work. But the face is all wrong.
That's Harrison's cousin.
It's just so then in the comments, he and I were talking. I said, you can get this figure, but then you're going to go to eBay and buy the 1/6 sculpt of Deckard, which is really good. I'll show it to you. Hold on. Where's it at? Here it is. Look at that.
Oh, that looks real good.
That's Harrison Ford.
Yeah, the nose is too long.
I mean, somebody even put the scar in. I love that. You know, that is a perfect rendering of Harrison Ford. And so, you know, we're looking at that figure today, and I got to tell you, the costume's great, but then Koichi brought up the fact that there's another figure, the Dark Toys figure. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, the Dark Toys figure. And I don't know if you guys remember that. Let me see if I can find it over on eBay.
Ooh,
Deckard.
Boy.
What?
Yeah, this.
Awesome.
This is the painted head. And here it is. This is the Dark Toys figure. It's no longer available. You can only buy it like this on eBay. But unbelievably well done Harrison Ford head.
Wow.
And you get two versions, one with the wound on the eye, different hands with it. This is a beautiful figure.
224.
This is used. Normally you can get the Dark Toy when it was being made for about $124 to $160, depending on who you're buying it from. But it's an amazing figure. Well done. I don't like the jacket so much, the collar. The collar on the new figure that they've got, I think, is better. This one here. Yeah. This is better done. So I would say get the figure and replace the head, because the head's that's not Harrison Ford's face. Doesn't even look like him. He's all squinty-eyed. It's weird looking.
Yeah.
But past that, it's a beautiful figure. The costume, well done. Look at that. Look at that shit. That's fucking awesome. Getting some really cool Blade Runner toys out there every once in a while. And you know me and Blade Runner.
Okay. I need a second here for this.
Hey, fuck you, Kyle.
Zach's in the house.
Hey, fuck you, Kyle. Love you, buddy. I need to rejoin him again. I really had fun on his show. I'm going to get back over there. I just like hanging out with Zach.
Good people.
Yeah, he is.
Hello, Alex Moore. Hey.
Alex is okay.
God damn it.
I've been doing it since I was a kid, you know, like, hey, it's so-and-so. Oh, and hey, Dan. Jerk things I've been doing since I was a kid.
That's good. That's good. Anyway,
excuse me. By the way, Zach, I just share it again, Martin. Dale Dye's rebranding his company. So it's instead of two companies now, Warriors Publishing Group and Warriors Inc., it's now Warriors Global. And you can actually join. It's free. You can join the website and get news, updates, all sorts of stuff as they get everything launched and going. I'm just so glad this is brand new. They just started this website. Now they told me about it earlier. Well, Middle of last year, I was told about it, that was what they're gearing up to do, and finally they're doing it.
Wow.
See, oh wow, oh yeah, I think it's brilliant too. So, anywho,
where were we? Oh, Scott Snyder.
this is ADD Theater. What do you want?
Yeah.
What were we talking about? What was that?
Anyway,
I think we could jump now to the point in which we're talking about Netflix and Disney
yes.
and the massacre. Oh, I'm enjoying every second of it.
Well, basically, it looks like Netflix has let's see, according to the estimates, Netflix and Disney, let's see, okay, it was announced that Netflix had their big earnings call, and it turned out that Netflix basically beat the heck out of Disney. Netflix is earning money hand over fist because they are actually attempting to cater to fans. They're not changing things, and a lot of the stuff that they did have that was problematic, stuff that wasn't working, they made some changes. Now, in my opinion, what they did was they made a massive turn. They got rid of a whole lot of people. And I think what Netflix is doing is they're hedging their bets. They didn't get rid of all of the problematic people. What they have done is they've kind of divided their company up. So people like Ted Biaselli, who, in my opinion, should have left Netflix, he's still there.
He should have been fired.
He's still there.
He did damage.
He did damage to the company, but he's still there. And what they did was they got rid of half.
Remind folks who he is.
Ted Biaselli is the guy for whom Kevin Smith is basically taking all the hits for.
Yeah. Kevin Smith's not the guy doing this shit to He-Man. It's
Ted Biaselli. Ted Biaselli is the Netflix executive who approached Kevin Smith about working with He-Man and making Masters of the Universe. And it was Kevin who had stated that he was not a fan of Masters of the Universe and He-Man, and that he took all his cues with understanding who the character was and what his mythology was and everything from Ted Biaselli. And so Ted Biaselli, I should say Kevin was hired to then turn around and act as the showrunner for the show. And so he hired all of the writers and I think all of the talent, the vocal talent that was brought in. Okay. But while Kevin is the showrunner, he actually basically just defaults to whatever Ted Biaselli says. Biaselli is the one that made all those changes and made it all so bad. Not that Kevin didn't do anything. Kevin went with it. He cashed the checks. He went for the ride. He has to share at least some of, what has happened.
And attack some people.
Yes. What he did to Clownfish was not cool. I think if he had actually, thought about it, but then again, egos.
Yep.
And that's the way it is. You have to expect it when you we live in an information age, and sometimes some people will get a hold of bits of information to put it out there. Now, personally, I don't think what Clownfish did was wrong because they said it was rumors. They weren't really confirming anything. But Kevin Smith's reaction pretty much let it be known in advance that they were right. this was the project that made me kind of disappointed in Kevin Smith a little.
More.
I
In
don't.
my case, a little more.
I don't. If you're going to create something based on a pre-existing IP, you owe it to yourself the opportunity to do as much research on that original IP as possible. The unfortunate thing is that everybody currently in the business today, and it's not just Netflix doing this. I mean, they've done this with Marvel. They've done this with Lucasfilm. They've really done this for a lot of different places. The people who are currently in charge of Hollywood really do not like it if you are a fan of a particular IP, if they're taking a pre-existing IP and doing something new with it. They want the opposite of that. They want people who do not understand or do not know the IP to make it easier for them to come up with anything at all. Which just goes to show, as Gerry has said in the past, that these people are dumb.
Well, look, there's what we refer to as normies, and
Yeah.
These are people like Scott's wife. Dawn is absolutely an admitted normie. She will watch something and she goes, "I really like that," while you and I are going, "Really?" Like, that's because she fits into that category. Normies that just they don't know what we're talking about the history of things, the importance of sticking to things that, you know, it's not your IP. You're taking somebody else's IP that already has a fan base and you're turning it into something. So therefore you should try to stick to adhere to what the IP was, because you've got a built-in fan base. But then some people go, "Fuck you," like Halo in particular. Don loves Halo. You and I fucking hate it. You know, anybody who's a serious Halo gamer hates it. You know, and normies don't understand us. Why do you care so much? Because we do. You know, I don't have to explain myself.
Well,
I don't. When people want me to explain myself, I'm like, "Fuck you."
I think in talking to Dawn, there are things that she does care about.
Yeah, I know. She's an avid reader. Don't get me wrong. My Christmas gift to her was a book by Scott Snyder, Presumed Innocent, that was later turned into a film with Harrison Ford. I got her the original book. She's very much into certain things, but some things she just doesn't care about.
Some things she just doesn't care about. But the thing is that if you are a fan of a particular, say, book or an old television series, you know, it does make a difference if you happen to be a fan of that, if they're going to do something new with it.
Yeah.
A good example of someone who actually did something really cool that technically they didn't have to do, but they did it and it improved the project greatly, is Nicholas Meyer, who was not a Star Trek fan, but he went out and watched several episodes of Star Trek to try to understand what Star Trek was before he directed Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. And it shows. It shows. It does make a difference if you are familiar with the IP versus, say, let me pick something out. Discovery or Strange New Worlds. That's it. We'll pick on Strange New Worlds because Akiva Goldsman sucks. Anyway, and I don't care if he has an Academy Award. He sucks. It does make a difference if you are familiar with an IP, because then you're able to communicate things that for certain normies, certain things you might put in a script or put in a movie that go right over their heads.
You triggered Admiral Teague. You're muted, Gerry.
Teague. I'm. You know I'm down with you, man. I am, but you know, I really got to say that it's just that Akiva Goldsman, the guy is just, he's killing Star Trek. He's killing it. And he knows, and the difference is he knows that he is. He's never denied that. Okay. He is the king of the gaslight.
Well, it's premeditated.
Yeah, it is. It's premeditated. And
which is why I hate them even more. They're doing this on purpose.
Yeah, it's not so much as like, oh, I don't understand what's going on. I must have made a mistake. This is all being done on purpose when it comes to Strange New Worlds.
Well, we got threatened back in the 2000s that they were coming for us. The woke were going to be coming for us. We're coming for you, and I'll get you, my little pretty, and your little dog too. You know, and they did. They really did.
Yeah. Well, it's because they love. They thought that we'd be easy. They thought it would be easy to sideline us, to shut us up, shut us down, and that they would be able to take on all of the normies and just make all this money, and that the sheer wave of love for this new stuff and how they're doing it would carry some of us along, and we'd all have to just get along and deal with what they were giving us. And turns out it doesn't work that way. You have to have some kind of quality to what you're doing. You can't just change things for the sake of changing things. You got to do it in an entertaining way. You got to make it entertaining, even for people that don't know what you're doing. If you don't do that, nobody watches and nobody buys the merchandise, which really is the key. Looks like we've crossed over into the other story. About
But there's a plan here.
There is a plan. There is a story, a piece of information that I think you may have heard or not yesterday. Breaking news. And what it was that Skydance is looking at taking over Paramount. And as I was thank you. I love it when Gary's on too. Gary's just fun. As I was explaining to Martin,
I'm okay.
I was explaining to Martin before the show that Skydance is the company that pretty much has basically been keeping Paramount Pictures alive. They have been funding a majority of Paramount's releases. And Skydance is a company that, I was asking Martin if he knew who Larry Ellison was or is. Gap After Dark. Oh, come on, Gap. You got to give me a chance. I'm doing the show here. But much love for you, Gap. Larry Ellison.
He's okay.
Larry Ellison is one of the richest people out there. Okay, he is the guy behind Oracle. And what I loved about Larry Ellison, there's an interview with him where he basically just sets out to tell you that he and Microsoft's founder aren't exactly fans of one another. And oh, thank you, Anna. Thank you very much. And that his way of moving forward with technology is something that has made him a lot of money. Thus, his kids have a lot of money. And he's got a son and a daughter. And his daughter, he gifted her like $600 million. And so she turned around and made Annapurna. So that's her production company. His son, David, he took his money, $600 million, and made Skydance. And Skydance is pretty much just everything that Annapurna isn't. Action, explosions, all that other kind of stuff. Skydance has financed all of the Kelvin Star Trek films. They've financing Mission Impossible. They even were I think they even financed Top Gun Maverick and a couple other movies. But basically, David Ellison has put in a bid to buy out Sherry Redstone from her company, basically.
Well, she failed us, and it's disappointing because I think her interest was to save Star Trek, but she got snookered.
Yeah.
By Les Moonves's contract with, Out of the Closet or whatever the fuck his company name. Les Kurtzman's company is.
Yes.
Yes, I always intentionally say that incorrect because I don't like him.
He adds nothing.
Skydance is involved with Return.
Yes.
They're the ones who own the rights to it with Paramount.
With Paramount, yes. But basically, David Ellison has made a bid, and they're going to buy out Sherry Redstone, which will give, if I remember correctly, that will give them a majority stake in what she has, meaning that they will have a overwhelming controlling interest in Paramount. And it looks like Skydance wants to just basically they want to buy Paramount, but they can't because everything's been bundled together. And basically, to make it simple, they're just going to buy out Sherry Redstone, and then David Ellison's going to go through along with his dad, and they're going to go through and just sell off the things they don't want, which means we're definitely going to see CBS stripped from all of this because CBS is a headache. Although I will say, hey Teague, have a good one, buddy.
The same bye. Yep.
I would hope that before selling off CBS, that David and his dad will just basically tell CBS that they need to give up that Star Trek right. They just got to give it back, or take it, and have Paramount reassume control over Star Trek. Okay, that will put us on the road to correcting a lot of really bad things. And once that happens, then some of us fans can hope that things will get better. Look, JJ's already stated to several people he really doesn't care about Star Trek. He doesn't care. Anybody that gets hired to, direct or write a movie, he doesn't care what you do. He just wants, basically, JJ just wants to get paid. And if that's his way of doing things, I'm cool with that.
Well, that's how those fuckers, gauge success.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if their show makes money. All that matters is that they got their payday.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like them. They don't care about quality.
No, they don't. But you know what? That just means that what happened with Picard season 3, you might be able to have that happen with the Kelvin movies and that cast. And I got to say, that might be worth it to attempt to make a 4th Star Trek film with that cast. Okay, now, JJ has messed up royally because he made a lot of promises that basically he can't really keep a lot of those promises. And what I mean is, you have these actors now whose all their contracts have run out. You're going to have to, in order to make another Star Trek film with that cast, you're going to have to re-sign everybody, and everybody's going to want to get paid. Well, since none of these films have actually turned a profit, it's not good business to really go out and make another Star Trek film with the Kelvin cast. But because that's one of the few things that people really love about those films is the cast, what really needs to change are the people that are writing it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the cast at all. I don't think I've ever run it. Even people that didn't like the 2009 Star Trek kind of at least liked the cast. You know, I've never run into anyone that actually hated everybody. So just like what happened with Picard season 3, you just need to find someone who can come in there and just do Star Trek with that cast. That's it. Now, am I going to sit here and say, oh, all these magical things are going to happen and Star Trek fans are going to be happy? No, I'm not. I don't believe there's too many things that have to go right in order for that to be a thing. And I can't do it. I can't go down that road. But if it does go right, I hope they're able to make it go right before anything happens to William Shatner. Because I would at least like to see them do something with Shatner, you know. And Gap After Dark, first of all, let me just say on your recent comment, congratulations. He says, I'm going to get a chance to talk to Terry Matalas on a panel in the next couple of months. What you should ask him from us? Here's what you should ask Terry Matalas, at least from me. What is your next original project? You know, I would love to see something original from him. I'm not going to ask him a Star Trek question because I think we could all pretty much guess what's going down.
Yeah.
The recent announcement about Star Trek Legacy, if you haven't heard, basically Star Trek Legacy still has a shot of becoming a thing. But if it does become a thing, it'll be a thing without Terry Matalas. Because somebody's ego couldn't take the fact that Picard season 3 was
Alex Kurtzman, yeah, just say it. Just say it. Look, I've got a question too.
Yeah.
You know, I want to know, is he a boxer or a brief guy? It's important. I don't care.
And Terry Matalas, I give him a lot of respect because he had to deal with a lot. I'm sure it was a lot dealing with Akiva Goldsman.
He did the best he could with what he was given.
Yeah. He really did.
He couldn't make Star Trek the way he wanted to make it, so he made the Star Trek he was able to make. That's right. That is it. And I don't know. Basically, the Star Trek Legacy series, Alex Kurtzman magically will be the one that will show run that when that becomes a show. That's the long and short of it. He got rid of Terry Matalas so that he could run it. And given the bang up job that he's done with Star Trek Discovery and all the other stuff, you now know what to expect for Star Trek Legacy. It's going to be amazingly bad.
So, guys, now that we are laughing a little, I just want to show this interaction. We have a gap with this one.
Ooh.
What?
And then Anima comes with this.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my. And Gerry, could you please do this for me? Read this in Sean Connery's voice.
Netflix laid the smackdown on Disney.
Awesome.
Oh, yes. Netflix did lay the smackdown on Disney. I mean, when it was all said and done, Netflix last year ended up coming out on top financially. their shareholders did very well for themselves. And, you know, it helps that when you make a mistake, that you correct that mistake and you move ahead with something even better.
Man, you're starting to sound like Dick Jones.
Why, thank you.
It is time to erase that mistake.
But in the case of, say, One Piece, that has got to be one of the biggest things that Netflix has ever done. And it was to correct the mistake of Cowboy Bebop. You know, Cowboy Bebop was a mistake.
Wait. There's a difference between a mistake and an atrocity.
Well, when you invite the creator of said IP to come in and help you do something, which is what happened with One Piece versus Cowboy Bebop. The creator of Cowboy Bebop was not allowed to work on the Cowboy Bebop live action that Netflix did. So it was not good. Versus the One Piece adaptation, where the creator of One Piece worked on that, consulted, and everything he suggested, he was actually listened to. Success. It's pretty. Look, Gerry and I don't make this difficult for people. Seriously. If the creator is alive and they're willing to work with you, because some may not. You know, you get people like Alan Moore or even John Carpenter. All they want is they just want you to pay them. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you have a creator of a particular property and you've decided to adapt something and you don't bother asking them to at least help you or consult, then you really are taking a chance. Harry Potter is a success. The movies are a success because the author and creator worked on it. I mean, look at all these other films that were given opportunities because of the success of Harry Potter. Notice the difference. They didn't invite in the authors of these properties to help them make the different films that they came up with. They just used it and created something, and it did okay. Hopefully, Hollywood can eventually learn that if you give the author, creator...
Hollywood never learns. Remember that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in fantasy land for a moment. I was thinking that... I was thinking it was going to be possible to help teach Hollywood something, but Gary's right again.
No, because what they end up doing, they'll get something successful, and then they'll turn right.
Guys?
Yeah.
Oh, Gerry, what? We're having trouble with Gerry. Okay. It's time for our vindicated ad.
Let's go ahead, hit that.
Here we go.
Meet the Seattle Vigilante. Like so many comic heroes, this warrior hides his identity. Meet the Seattle Vigilante. Like so many comic heroes, this warrior hides his identity. But his identity isn't the only secret he has to keep. After grievous wounds received during combat, Tier 1 operator John Russell begins to recover and comes to terms with his new reality of being an amputee. And as he learns how to use his new prosthetic limb, he finds himself caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that too many wounded veterans experience, the exhausting medboard process. Out of sheer frustration, John takes it out on the criminal scum of the city. But when reality kicks in, John realizes he started something that's having an impact on the greater world around him, and thus has to reevaluate his motives. And moreover, just how far is John willing to go to finish this war he's declared against the criminals in Seattle? And will he even survive? From the creator of IDW's award-winning graphic novel Code Word Geronimo comes a new story about a different kind of warrior, Vindicated Inc., the first of its kind disabled veteran action hero comic. The Vindicated Inc. graphic novel crowdfunding campaign on fundmycomic.com is provided in the description of this video. We hope you become a contributor. Please share this link. Thank you.
And we're back.
That is fantastic to get involved with that. And given the announcement today about the pseudo new venture, which is really just an original venture that's been altered slightly, I think we put it into the we posted a link to something else involving many of the people that were involved with Vindicated. So anyway.
Anima, no, he's having technical problems. I don't know if you noticed, but his feed froze and then he wasn't here anymore.
Let's see.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Oh, jeez. Well, look,
he's got a point.
Hold on. There's a lot of comments here. And first of all, Dream Team of Entertainment. Wow. I don't know what to say about that. It's easier to do it with Martin and Gerry. You know, I'm just a guy with a head full of really just weird pieces of knowledge. So, but thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see.
Okay.
And then the other comments, geez. Here we go. Wolverine 626 said CBS Studios content needs to be merged with Paramount. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to get all that. Personally, I'd like to see that. There's a lot of good content there. And Gerry is back.
That's some connection there. Sorry.
Let's see.
Oh, wait. People is going to revolt if I don't put them their backdoor videos. So we have to jump from there to this. And there I'm going to play just 4 of them. So you can choose for yourself what is the video that you would like the most. So we have.
Open your back door, baby. Loosen your hinges, I'll show you my key.
Goodwood.
Pam, why do you have underpants with a Swiss flag on them?
Swiss? Those aren't Swiss. Those are, they're from the Red Cross. They're defective. Anyway, me safe house, A2 safe house. I'm gonna check the back door.
Cowboy, check around and see if there's a back door.
And apparently the new favorite of the chat.
Everlight, protect Grog and the rest of our friends, wherever they are.
Wow.
Show's all yours, my friend.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, now that we're caught up on the videos, as I was saying before, what you have here in this particular situation is that it looks like Skydance is wanting to make a move. And they could very well just take over Paramount and probably either call it Skydance Paramount or Paramount Skydance, whichever way they want to do it. But I think the possibilities for what they can end up doing with both Star Trek and other things is good. I think Skydance really will be a good fit for all of that. Personally, I think even the Ellisons will have the power to just move Kurtzman and his people on, which personally I think they should just go ahead and do. But that's going to depend on what they really want to accomplish from here on out. I mean, it looks like Skydance just seems to be only interested in Paramount and not CBS. And I can see that. I mean, really, would you be that interested in CBS given everything that they've done recently? I mean, I can't, you know what? Let me back up off that last statement. I think I could do something with CBS. I think I could do something. It's just a lot of the executives there are people that are a lot like Ted Biaselli. These same people keep renewing Alex Kurtzman's contracts. So, I mean, if I got a hold of CBS, I'd just fire all those executives. They'd just be gone. And again, I don't say that lightly. I'm not someone that, oh yeah, firing people's easy. Firing people's never easy. But these people at this level, they have more than enough money to survive.
Well, depending on who you're fighting.
I'm talking executives.
Some people make it real easy.
Yeah, some people do. But my thing would be like David. Well, David Zaslav was looking at trying to do a deal. And I guarantee you there's quite a few people, mainly CBS people, that probably didn't like that idea. Because Zaslav would have wanted results. He would have walked in day one with a baseball bat talking about team.
Yeah. You know, he's talking about the scene from The Untouchables. Time for individual achievement.
We need a clip of that scene here.
I don't know. They'd probably ban us for that one. That is really violent, dude.
It is a violent scene.
But we can cut it just in the moment the bat is swinging down and without showing the actual hit.
It is a good scene, and the chances are you could get this. You know what really is sad is that if you decided to do something like that, you'd get away with it. I mean, nobody would immediately leave because a lot of these younger executives haven't watched movies like The Untouchables, so they wouldn't know what was coming. And so I just...
Well, it won't cease to exist, Wolverine, because, look, branding is everything. And Paramount's got almost 100 years of branding.
Yeah.
They'll never get rid of it. But Paramount, as we knew it for over the last decade, would definitely be gone. But it would still have the logo and all that shit with it. There's no way they would get rid of that.
Yeah, the price tag that they're going to charge for doing all of this, that's mainly what you're buying. You're not only just buying the libraries and all of its assets, you're buying, you know, everything. The
you say
logos,
asses?
Assets.
Oh. Bought a lot of asses.
Jeez.
You know, I'm not the only one who gets bullied here.
That gets what? I don't know what he said again.
Bullied.
Whatever.
Well, again, I look at it this way.
You.
The Ellisons would be a lot easier to deal with than Kurtzman and his people. I mean, look, I would actually buy tickets, and they would make a lot of money day one if they sold tickets to the official firing of Kurtzman. That's a pay-per-view event right there. It's like, oh yeah, $100, money well spent. Let me see it. and even better if you could get the guys from South Park to do it to them.
Yeah.
Those guys definitely deserve all the money you can give to them.
I love it when they shit on their own studio. I just love that.
Those guys are just they've reached a level that
they've been there for almost a decade.
Yeah,
because
way over a decade.
They got into the we don't give a fuck when they were able to. They messed with Comedy Central and got them to agree to pay them more for less episodes. They did that on purpose.
Yes,
to screw with them.
And now look at them. I mean, they have probably, the best deal of anybody currently working on anything close to even network television or cable or streaming. They've got the best deal. That's a deal worth almost $1 billion.
I'd be afraid of what they would do to Star Trek.
It would still be better than anything Kurtzman Trek has produced.
Because they are Star Trek fans, by the way. If you didn't know that, at least I know Trey Parker is. Because way back in, was it season 1 or season 2, they did the Observatory episode, which was a nod to classic Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I forgot about that. That's been a long, long time ago. Jeez. But anyway.
Back before my daughter was a twinkle in my eye.
Whew. Anyway, yeah, there is a lot that could happen with Paramount. There's a lot of different shows. I think if they end up letting CBS go, but taking CBS's library, there's a lot of positive things that can come out of that. And if you're David Ellison, there's lots of potential there. But I really can't see Skydance stripping every single thing away. You can't throw everything away. But there are a few things they can get rid of. You know, CBS, in my opinion, look, people are getting out of network TV. So being the number one network TV show doesn't mean as much anymore. I think getting rid of CBS just might be the smartest thing they can do in this deal. Because again, you don't need any of those executives. They weren't helpful to Sherry Redstone. And I guarantee you what they did to her, they wouldn't even think twice doing to Larry and David, which is the main reason why I think David should consider getting rid of all those guys, getting rid of CBS really. You don't have to worry about somebody sticking a knife in your back. Because they do it. You know, they did it to Sherry. So I think David could also negotiate a really good deal with the Kelvin cast, controlling Paramount. He would find a way of giving everyone some kind of a deal, or at least trying to find a way of signing everyone to contracts.
I think he should, in order to do that, he needs to first put out a show that works to convince them.
Well, I don't know. It's all financial with them now. I don't think it's really about what you can produce. And I don't think it's a television series that cast would be interested in. Look, everybody knows.
No. I'm not talking about a show with that cast. I'm talking that in order to convince that cast to return, he first must prove that he can do it well.
I think that's what he has. No. That's the thing. See, Skydance has been with them since the first movie. They financed all of that stuff. They know they have money. These actors and their agents know who David Ellison is, and they definitely know who his dad is. Okay? I think what I would do if I were David is, after getting control of Paramount, I would try to broker some individual deals with all the actors, starting with Chris Pine. I would try to get Chris Pine to consider making some movies through Paramount. It's like, look, you do this movie for X amount of dollars.
Not just this movie. You do a series of films, sign a contract for a series of films, and we'll give you this and produce whatever you want.
Yeah, well, I would give him like you sign for 3 films for Star Trek. I will make sure you get 2 movies of your choice, anything you want to do, and give you producer credit and participation financially as far as profits.
I thought you were going to say a participation award.
And that's the problem with this latest.
Got a little trophy. I participated.
So I would do that with Chris Pine, and I would do that also with Zoe Saldana and Carl Urban and even Simon Pegg. I would make individual.
What about Zachary?
Zachary Quanto. I'd also do that deal. I mean, it would have to be individual deals for everyone. I wouldn't do it as a group.
Although I would put a caveat on that, and it's like anything you want to make except for gay comedies, romantic comedies, because they don't sell.
You know what?
Well, some of them do. Occasionally they have a really good one, but the stuff that he's been putting out, really not good.
I again, that's the reason why it would have to be negotiating with each actor individually rather than as a group. It would be easier to negotiate with Zachary for what he wants to do, what he wants to accomplish, because Zachary might be more interested in having a television series rather than movies. Carl Urban, give that guy anything he wants. Look, nothing against anybody else in this cast, but Carl Urban, give that guy whatever he wants.
Yeah, they should even step in and do any follow-up Judge Dredd movies.
Oh, geez, that would be amazing. The guy is just uber talented, and he's a
nerd. He's a real nerd.
But on top of that, when you look at his credits, he's been involved in so much stuff that you've seen and you've enjoyed. And even in the films that have not been that good as far as box office, you have to understand he was lucky enough to find himself with certain people before they even became famous, before they became box office hits. People forget that Carl was part of the cast of the movie Doom, which
he was the main character.
Yes, he was the main character, even though The Rock is the one that you have. Yeah, he's on the movie poster, and of course, that's what Dwayne Johnson was there for, But I mean, Carl Urban can do pretty much anything. If I were David right now, I would go to Carl Urban and say, "Look, man, what do you want? What can I give you? What do you want? What do you want to do?" I think the person who it's going to be difficult to negotiate with will be Zoe Saldana. Because I've heard rumors that she might want to retire from acting.
Yeah, I can see that.
I just think that it's... Say what? What happened?
Oh, I'm having apparently connection problems. Quasi freeze, and I asked what in disbelief. She's too young to retire, unless she had other plans.
Well, the movie business can be, difficult. Remember, she's been mainly dealing with Kevin Feige and Marvel for the last few years. I keep telling people, it's easy to sit back and make fun of the DC films and Zack Snyder. I'm telling you right now, it was no walk in the park for a lot of these actors that made the Marvel films. And
Absolutely.
given what was revealed about the truth behind what happened with Infinity War and Endgame, especially what happened, for those that have not seen either one of those movies, big time spoiler here. 3, 2, 1. The death of Tony Stark was not originally a part of that script. That was actually done on the fly as they were making the movie. And according to the Russo brothers, the way I heard it, they had to go and convince. They did not talk to RDJ first. Okay, they felt that would be too difficult. They felt that it would just be not something that you wanted to get into, and So what they did was they approached Jon Favreau first, and Favreau told him, "No, that's a mistake." And the Russo brothers, I think, deep down understood that. But that somebody else was convinced that this was the right way to go. And give me 3 guesses to who that someone was.
Kevin? Victoria?
Actually, both those names would probably be the right answer. But they went to Favreau, talked to him for a while. They eventually brought him around, and then they had Favreau go with them, and they went to go talk to Robert. And that was a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Because,
by the way,
go ahead.
before we continue, I just wanted to say something. I've been holding off. Monkey said something, and Monkey, I love you, man, but sometimes you're just so full of shit, and you don't even realize it. Because Keith and I have spent a lot of time at conventions, and we get to, see these young fans, and there's a huge fan following for classic Star Trek that is under fucking 30. Whether you like it or not, it's a fact. And I mean, here's some pictures of some of the people that you find at conventions. These aren't the new Star Trek uniforms. These are the classic Trek fans. And there's millions of them all over the fucking planet. So you're being dismissive, and you do that. You do this dismissive thing, and you shouldn't do that, because you're full of it on that point, because there are millions of classic Star Trek fans under fucking 70. I mean, technically, Keith and I are both under 70. And we existed when the show was on. So, yeah. I don't know. I love that he does that. He's got a great sense of humor, but he'll say that, but then I got to call him out on stuff like that, because that's not true. Mm-hmm. It's not even close to true.
Well, and that's something that Alex Kurtzman and J.J. Abrams, though, want to continue to proliferate, as far as that attitude that nobody under a certain age is interested in that.
That's a lie. It's a lie.
It's the same mentality that KK has used with Star Wars. Oh, these younger people, they're not interested in the old Star Wars stuff, which isn't true. I mean, again, you see that with the merchandising. You see that with...
Yeah, because what sells?
Yeah, really, what sells?
It's always the classic stuff. And I consider TNG part of the classic Star Trek. back when Star Trek was still had quality to it.
There is a graphic that I found that was about Star Trek, and it was talking about here it is, the 8 most popular Star Trek series and fan fiction. Okay, and let me tell you,
Share it.
I have to go online to find it, but here, let me do this. Let me.
You're gonna put it in the private chat. Oh yeah, I saw that the other day. Classic Star Trek is the largest wedge.
Let me. Okay.
So
the original series has the largest portion of fan base.
Yep.
Yeah. You can stop now. You can stop now.
The original series is that's at 26%, followed by Deep Space Nine at 17, Next Gen at 11, Enterprise at 10. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. No, I was wrong. It's 26 for the original series, Voyager at 20, Deep Space Nine at 17, Next Gen at 11, Enterprise at 10, Discovery at 8, Picard at 4, and Strange New Worlds at 3. And this is fan fiction as written by fans. That's the popularity.
And they still keep going back to the original because they know it's the best.
So, I get it. It's sometimes you can almost talk yourself into thinking that it isn't as popular as it is. That's the reason why William Shatner's still out there going to conventions.
Yeah, why is there such a huge following for William Shatner? It wasn't from any other TV series but Star Trek.
I mean, he's
TGA Hooker maybe. It's a show I still won't watch because I hate the fucking name.
The name was unfortunate, but I like the show.
Adrian Zemed's another reason why I don't like the show, and Heather Locklear, because I don't think either of them can act. But I did watch the episode when Nimoy came on.
Yep, everybody did. It was a good show, good episode. But look, Star Trek has a multitude of fans, and the reason why JJ is still wanting to do this, he's still wanting to make the Kelvin films, is because he sees this. That's the reason why they had to do the deal, why Paramount had to do the deal where JJ and his people weren't allowed to touch any of the merchandising profits for anything.
Yeah, remind people about that one. That he wanted to shut down the classic toys.
Yeah, he didn't want them to
sell
his.
Those.
Yeah, and again, if you Google Star Trek 2009 toys, look at the quality of those toys. Those suck. I mean, they just suck. And I'm sure JJ goes, they're cutting into my profits. They weren't cutting into your profits. Whatever deals you made, whatever companies decided to deal with you, weren't that good. You were putting out products that nobody wanted to buy. So
right.
I don't know what to tell you. But that's what I would do if I were the Ellisons.
Just remember, he's Locust. He's a swarm.
Yeah.
That's there to feed off of IPs, and he doesn't contribute anything to it.
All of them are like that. Everybody that has trained with Bad Robot and comes out of Bad Robot is like that. They have that
Like
same...
Alex Kurtzman's Out of the Closet company.
I'm telling you, everybody's like that, and people hate it when I say this guy's name, but it's true. He is the same exact way. He is the same exact way because everything that he's done, Matt Reeves.
Oh, Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves, the guy behind the Batman. Everything he's done with the Batman.
Well, he's a JJ acolyte.
He's a JJ acolyte, is what he is. You
The
know,
one thing he did that I liked was Cloverfield.
yeah. But all of his decisions when it came to that movie, they're straight out of the J.J. Abrams books of taking over a pre-existing IP.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is that now he probably should have just let it go and walked away, because I do find it kind of funny and cool that Gunn is going to get his own Batman.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hey, look, I got to get going, guys.
Yeah, you go ahead.
But
Thank
before I go, I wanted to point out, Zach just said something really good, because Keith and I didn't like it. We went to see it. I saw it opening weekend. And the only thing I liked about that film was the penguin and the Batmobile scene. In fact, the Batmobile scene is really, in my opinion, the only good scene in the film.
See, Gerry and I do have one disagreement, because I didn't even like that. I did not like that.
Well, did you like the penguin?
I liked the penguin, but I thought everything was just, the writing was so bad, it affected how I felt about everything in that movie.
Yeah, it's like you've got the two best detectives in LA or in Gotham not doing any detecting. They're not talking to one another until the third act. We're 2 hours into the movie before they finally talk. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And they're dumb. They look, I've said
even the penguin makes fun of them for how dumb they are.
Yeah.
This is nothing more than just a repackaged version of the movie Seven. I've said that before on various shows, and
it is. It's absolutely it's theft. Look, the Joker movie is an homage.
Yes.
Whereas the Batman is theft. I mean, my God, everything Quentin Tarantino did is less thievery than what Matt Reeves did with the Batman. And he didn't want to use Ben Affleck's script. He felt he could do better. That was his better.
Those who have read that script, Ben Affleck's script, will tell you, we got robbed.
So, yeah.
He got robbed.
He was. Now, I will tell you, before I go, last thing is, I thought one of the most unintentionally hilarious moments in that movie, The Batman, is when he gets knocked out and nobody unmasks him for some reason.
That's it.
And he's laying there in the jail cell. He wakes up and then has a conversation with Gordon. And the conversation is, who's the guy with the broken nose and the mustache? And then almost immediately punches Gordon in the face, right in the nose. Who's the guy with the broken nose? And I mean, that is so fucking funny. I laughed out loud because it's like a joke. Hey, who's the guy with the broken nose and the mustache? And then he punches Gordon, who has a mustache, right in the nose. And I thought, how can you not realize that was a literal punchline to a setup joke? Matt Reeves is a fucking idiot.
He lied. Look, as far as I'm concerned, he lied about how much of a Batman fan he was.
Yeah, they all do that. Kevin Feige's a fucking liar. You and I know it. He's never read anything before the 1980s when it came to the comics. And it's obvious. Yeah. And what's worse is the comics he picks are the ones that undersold. He always does that.
Yep.
He always picks the least selling comic book to go with, because why didn't they sell? Because they were woke. That's why. And I hate the word woke, because woke should be a good thing. But these people fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
Ruined it, Brian. Ruined. So, oh my God, that was such a stupid scene, Gerry. Oh yeah, with the gels. Just Matt Reeves is a functional moron. I'm going to stick by that. I stand by my words. Almost everything he's ever made proves the point. I will stand by only one film he's done I thought was good, and I don't know how much input he had on that, is Cloverfield. Because I thought it was clever, and fun.
Well,
Very low budget.
Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield Paradox.
Those movies were already pre-made, and they slapped the Cloverfield on them and added additional scenes.
Yeah, but he's not in Cloverfield. He's
He worked in
not
Cloverfield. Matt Reeves.
I don't see that in IMDb.
I thought that was the first thing he did with JJ.
Here, let me look that up.
Oh, as a director, yes.
Oh, really? Is that all he was?
No, because the previous the other two movies he was a producer. I was trying to stay that I was
Shut the fuck up now.
In the wrong.
Be quiet. Stop talking.
No, I won't. You can't do that to me. No, but man, the reimagining of Planet of the Apes, I like them.
I can live without him. I don't care.
You know what? Again, it's the thing is that you can definitely tell you're in a different generation of creatives, because it used to be if you read a book, a lot of people read that book. Even the people making the movies.
Monkey Planet, yeah, by Pierre Buell.
I have yet to run into anyone that says they are a Planet of the Apes fan that has actually read those books or read that book.
The modern Planet of the Apes films. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all of them. No, all of them, including the so-called classic ones, because those movies have nothing to do with that. They have nothing to do with it.
There's very little in the original film from the book. There is stuff in there, but very little. I mean, they didn't even really shoot Rod Serling's script.
Yep. And that's the thing. Rod Serling, one of the greatest writers ever out of Hollywood, and you decide not to use his script to go with what they ended up doing.
Absolutely right, Monkey Jeebus. Absolutely right. They're looking for names and not the good stuff. They're looking for specific things.
That's right.
So, but
anyway,
I agree with you. Pierre Buell's book is great. It's the only book by him I liked. I didn't like Bridge on the River Kwai because he outright lied in that book, making an Englishman the villain when it was the French that had betrayed the prisoners.
Yeah,
because he was French. He didn't want to do that. You know what really happened? What pissed me off is when they made the movie, and an English director, David Lean, made the film, allowed that to happen in his movie, An Englishman, knowing it's not true.
Yeah.
And I've always resented David Lean for doing that. So anyway, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. I got some stuff I got to do.
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
But it's good to see everybody. Everybody have a great day today.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you mañana. That's true. I guess I'm going to
hey, wait. Are you not going to be on Dick's event? It's today.
What time today?
Central.
What
5
time?
Central.
I'm going to probably make it.
And Keith, please, you have to be there. It's a watch party of
He liked it when you and I took over the show. He thought it was fun. We walked in there and you and I started talking real trivia and real history, and just nobody could really talk. It's like you and I just sort of took over the show.
I think I blew his mind with my breakdown of Kirk's personality and psyche. I threw in a few things he never thought of before.
And you didn't say he was latently homosexual, which I thought was that's what they want to do. They keep wanting to do it.
Yeah.
They keep wanting to do it. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'll see you later.
Have a good one, buddy.
Bye.
If Kirk's gay, he's the worst gay ever.
Well, I mean, he's a different kind of character. Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this is the overwhelming thing about the 2009 Star Trek. None of the stuff they did with Kirk in that film has anything to do with Kirk as established in the original series. None of it. I know that blows some people away, that JJ and his people just sort of did stuff. But I think the reason why I don't downplay it enough, not downplay, but why I don't get down on it enough is because it's an alternate universe. You know, alternate universe does not necessarily mean that you have the same exact upbringing and that you have the same things happen to you in one universe that it would like echo into another one.
I get that, but being an alternate universe is no excuse for being a bad written movie.
Sometimes you can do an alternate universe movie really well if you're really willing to commit to the concept and you're willing to think things through and write it logically. And I was always hopeful of the fact that JJ would eventually at least do that. That all of the differences that he made with his Star Trek could eventually lead to something to where you only have 3 movies, where you have a beginning, middle, and an end for all of this. And that the beginning of the movie, the branching timeline, I should say, it's not just a whole cloth, but it's just a different timeline to everything. To me, is your biggest clue of how to proceed. Kirk's life was different, and a lot of it was the fact that it's too boring to have Kirk's life on the big screen the way that the television series had the character. Kirk was not this guy that was out as a rebel. He wasn't rebelling, and he wasn't so smart that all he did was go to bars, hit on women, and get in fights. That was not Kirk at all. You know, Kirk was pretty much a nerd. He liked reading. He was a kid. In many ways, I don't know if you've ever heard this about Star Trek Phase 2, but the Star Trek Phase 2 television series was meant to be the next step in the evolution of all of the original characters. Having a brand new character come in, and in this case for Phase 2, it was going to be Matt Decker as his number 2. It was going to allow Kirk to remain on the bridge. Thus, his new XO would be the one having all the adventures. Well, wait a minute. What does that sound like? Well, it sounds like Star Trek The Next Generation. Well, where do you think Star Trek The Next Generation came from? Star Trek The Next Generation was built out of the notes for Star Trek Phase 2. So Captain Picard, in his original form, was really Captain Kirk. A more thoughtful Kirk that would stay on the ship and do stuff versus the way that he was when he was younger. That is Kirk's base personality. You know, he is a thinker who just happens to be an action guy, and he can get it done. You know, I also like to say that Kirk was the ultimate late bloomer. You know, it wasn't until he got into Starfleet and was taking classes and doing things when he discovered that women, you know, he had this special gift with women.
And then he decided to recuperate the lost time.
Basically, he did. I mean, that plus the fact of what his jobs were. I mean, he rose through the ranks, but a lot of that was because he was motivated to. But he wasn't motivated because he wanted to get with as many alien women as possible. It's like I said on Teague's show. Captain Kirk really is a damaged character. He had something really, really bad happen to him. And it gets downplayed a lot. And a lot of these producers and stuff today, unless you actually watch the original series, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yes, the fact that that entity that killed most of the of the crew.
Yes,
in his first ship.
But no. This is I'm talking about something that happened even before that.
Okay.
No.
No, dude, leave that for another episode because we have like 10 minutes and we haven't talked about Gerry.
Okay, well then yes, I will leave that for another. I will leave that for another show. But let's really just get into. Hey, Cam, thank you for coming by the show. Thank you.
Oh my God, Monkey Jim.
Wow.
Sentiment. Oh man.
Wow.
Bye, Anima.
Thank you, Anima.
3 hours.
Yeah, it's not a lot of time.
I thought it was 5. Okay. Well, oh man.
Well, look.
Gerry Graham.
Yeah. For those that haven't heard, actor Gerry Graham, who was best known to many for starring in the television version of the series Alien Nation.
Yeah.
He passed away yesterday.
71.
Yeah. Actually, 73 is what they have him down for. 73. And heart attack. Cardiac arrest. He was also a part of the cast for Enterprise.
Ambassador Sobol, I think.
And he ended up working with my other twin brother, Robert Meyer Burnett, on the Axanar project.
Oh yes.
Of which RMB got a chance to direct him in a scene. You can look that up if you go to Google Axanar, the Vulcan scene is what you want Google to find for you. That entire scene.
And yes, Wolverine, Robot Jocks.
Yes, Robot Jocks. But actor, musician, author. I really did like Gerry Graham. I always thought he was severely underused. But I also felt that what he ended up doing with Alien Nation was kind of different. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
The movie and the show, yes, I did.
What'd you think?
Oh, let me say this. When I saw the cast for the TV show, I was, oh no, this Sykes is too young, and George is too small. But man, it was a very good show. Well, I like the way that they expanded in how the alien culture worked.
Yeah.
Yes, they gave George more kids.
Yes.
But it created a great dynamic because it made the characters more real because his family wasn't a poster family. Was he had his older kid was a problem, was a problematic one. He even went in. He even dwelled for a while with gangs and shit.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to pick up a character that had been originally performed by another actor, and in this case, his character from Alienation was an adaptation of a character as played by James Caan.
Yeah.
And James Caan's character had a lot going on in the movie. And how do you do that on a television show where people are going to have to see you week to week to week? How do you find a way into a character who at the very top is a character who is rough, gruff, and kind of a racist. You know, how do you take that and spin it a different way for a television series, or at least not piss off fans of the movie? You know, but Gerry Graham found a way, and he made the character his own.
Yes, he did.
That was
well, and you see in the movie how the process of growing of the character start. He discovers that the aliens are not bad or less, and he starts to loosen up in his racist tendencies. He starts to get his own shit together, and he gets closer to his daughter.
Yeah.
And in the series, eventually he even he started a relationship with an alien girl.
Oh yeah, Michelle Scarbelli, who Canadian actress, I think originally. I remember her because she had. I remember her because she was in the sequel television series to Airwolf, and that was all right. But I remember her as a performer, and even with all the makeup and stuff on,
yes.
You know, she just came through all that, and everybody was really good, really good. And the same thing with Gerry Graham on Enterprise. You know, still the thing about him on Enterprise is that
yeah, I know. Go.
You have a character that is kind of you don't know what to think about him at first. You
no, you do. You do. They try to skew you to see him like a
villain.
asshole.
Yeah.
No, not a villain, an antagonist.
Yes, but I remember. Maybe it was just me. Maybe it was just the fact that it was Gerry Graham playing the role. I never felt that he was a bad guy. I felt he had his reasons.
And he had them.
Yeah, and you eventually learned what those reasons were. But I just felt that Gerry Graham playing a Vulcan. First of all, it's Gerry Graham playing a Vulcan. It's just like, oh, this is cool. This is so cool. That's what I liked. And he really fit in with that cast, that story. He helped to sell it all. You know, for me, I don't think the show would have been as good as it was without him. And had the show gone another season or two, thank you. Thanks for nothing, Les Moonves. But had the show been allowed to go another season or two, or even go all 7 seasons, I think we would have gotten a lot more out of his character.
No, but his character died.
I think that we would have found more ways of having, you know. Anyway, Yes.
And I mean that was a punch because they killed Sobel just minutes after you finally understand him.
Yeah.
When
Well,
they do the whole revelation about who is he and why he does what he does in
yeah.
order to really protect humanity.
Yes.
Boom! He got blown away. Damn, that was fuck.
I also like the fact that Gary Graham was all about going to conventions and meeting fans. I love that about that guy, and he's one of those people that I had always hoped to catch up to at a convention and never quite made it. You know, I have my list of people that I've always wanted to meet and whose hands I've wanted to shake, and so far I've met more people than I ever thought that I would. I just think that a lot of really good performances, memorable characters, memorable films like Robot Jocks. I just, yeah, just a lot there. And yet at the same time, not enough. I really enjoyed Gary Graham as a performer. And I just wish we had gotten to see more, you know.
Yeah, definitely, I understand.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we've lost another. In my opinion, we lost another fan like us. I think that's part of why Gary Graham did a lot of what he was doing, especially being involved with Axanar. He had to have been a fan on some level.
Of course.
And
man, that what they did to Axel was criminal, man.
yeah. I mean, one of the things though, before I, you know, one of the things, well, two things I've always wanted to ask Gary Graham was, first of all, it's like, dude, moonlighting, really? I mean, nothing against moonlighting at all. Big fan. What made you do that? And then Starsky and Hutch. What was it like to be on the set of Starsky and Hutch? You know, again, we just lost David Soul also from that show. And yeah, it was, yeah, it was just, it's been a hard couple of weeks, you know.
Well, I may have a theory on moonlighting.
Okay.
Civil Shepherd. That's it.
That's it? That's your theory, Sybil Shepherd?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes. Okay. Still. Okay. I'll go with your reasoning then, you know, because it's not like we're ever really going to find out. But oh, now I remember. I did have a question to ask him. He was also in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't know what part he played. But he's in it.
Okay, let me do.
He's in it. And in fact, there's quite a few people in that movie, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Well, it's not named in IMDb.
So quite a few people that are a part of that cast, including Vic Armstrong, who is the famous stuntman. And Henry Gibson from Laugh-In is also in the movie. And found it. Gary Graham's one of the kids in the castle.
Fascinating.
It's just, I would have loved to have asked him how he got cast in that film. So, wow. Anyway, there you go. So good night, Gary. God bless you. And yeah. Sad to lose a talented person, and especially someone who
104 credits.
Yeah. Again, I it surprised me about the whole Chitty Chitty Bang Bang thing. So
it would make that 105.
Yeah. Anyway. And Monkey Chivas, yes, Benny Hill was in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Yeah, playing the toy maker. So, but again, the movie was made by the producers of the James Bond films. So there are many people associated with this movie that are also associated with James Bond movies. Garrett Frobe, who was Baron Bombburst. Well, he's also Goldfinger. You know, James Robertson. Q himself, Desmond Llewellyn's in the movie. Yeah, just a lot of people who would have probably, and Vic Armstrong having been associated with the Bond movies. So,
Oh my God, you.
What?
Look at that. Oh my God.
Oh gosh. Oh. Thank you, Monkey. Oh man. And on that note, wow, leave it to Monkey. You know what? We'll end on that note. We will end right on that note. We're gonna let Monkey have the final word on that one. Thank you very, very much to everyone. And especially to everyone that showed up today. Ostains and Monkey Jeebus and Gap After Dark, Alex Moore, Zax, Sox Bulletins, Eastland Burkander, Wolverine 626, Ariel Ballet, Cam's Crash Courses, Dragon Roos, Mrs. A, John Cipoyola, D. Bud Martin, Admiral Teague, and the Amazing Penny. With special appearance by Lady Anima. So, Martin, my friend.
Yes.
And to everyone else also, all of you have a better day.
See you later.